The judicial process can make whatever determination it wants, but we, the FBI, and our partners at the DOJ have numerous options to proceed. Stay tuned for right after Thanksgiving.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know we've all had some, let's just call them questions about Kash Patel lately. And I'll be honest, I've had my own. There are things I just don't understand about him. I don't understand why Kash seemed to flip-flop on the whole Epstein situation. I don't understand why he's been so vague and sketchy about it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. None of it makes sense. However, Kash Patel may have just come through in a huge way, and this could make a massive difference in what happens next with James Comey. As you know, James Comey was just let off the hook, and it certainly appears that this was a major mistake on Pam Bondi's part. Let's just be honest. It was her fault. She's the one appointing these interim attorneys. And when she appointed one after the 120-day mark, that mistake ended up giving James Comey, and not just James Comey, but Letitia James as well, a free pass. How do we let something like that happen? So let's just go ahead and pin that one squarely on Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, do nothing Pam Bondi, but here is the big twist. Kash Patel is now saying that the FBI in particular is not going to let this slide, and this is huge. Kash Patel is serving up straight nightmare fuel for James Comey. He is not letting Comey walk away from this, and he said we all need to stay tuned. He said, quote, stay tuned right after Thanksgiving because big things are coming. But Kash Patel, he just sat down with Jan Jekulik. He is a journalist over there at the Epoch Times. And he talked about China. He talked about fentanyl. He talked about a lot of interesting stuff. He even referenced some burn bags that had to do with the Russia hoax against Donald Trump. He said he was going to expose. And then a very interesting thing is he brought up this whole topic of James Comey because, you know, a lot of people are extremely upset about what happened with James Comey and Letitia James. They want justice to happen. I mean, James Comey, he lied to Congress. I mean, blatantly lied to Congress. And everyone saw it. Everyone knows it. And now he's being let off the hook. What's up with that? And then, of course, Letitia James with her whole mortgage fraud situation. It looks like these people are not being held to account. And the reason why is because supposedly there was this appointment illegally of a lawyer by Pam Bondi. And everyone's asking, how can Pam Bondi, how can the DOJ make this mistake? So what does this mean, that Letitia James and James Comey are just going to get away with all this stuff? Well, specifically when it comes to James Comey, FBI Director Kash Patel said there's no way in hell he's going to let this happen.
Because it's pending in terms of appellate status and what we are going to do for the next steps, the judicial process can make whatever determination it wants, but we, the FBI, and our partners at the DOJ have numerous options to proceed, and we're executing on all those options. So we're not done.
Any detail available?
I would say stay tuned for right after Thanksgiving, and you'll see multiple responses, in my opinion.
So that's very interesting. Remember, Kash Patel, he chooses his words very wisely now that he is a government official. Now that he is the director of the FBI, he takes his job pretty seriously. I don't agree with everything he's done necessarily. I have massive questions at how much he has changed since he was just a regular citizen, because some stuff ain't adding up. However, this right here is something that I like to see. Basically, what Kash Patel is saying here, he's saying, regardless of what the courts decide, the FBI still has multiple ways to continue pursuing this matter. He's emphasizing that the judicial process, I mean, they can make whatever determination it wants, but the FBI still has other legal avenues or strategies available. So basically, he's telling everybody, we're not letting this go. And I wonder if there is some sort of maybe backroom conversation with Pam Bondi, asking her, like, what the hell did you do? How did you make this mistake? So now you are adding more work to the FBI's plate, because now that you flubbed this one with this illegal appointment, we're going to have to explore even more avenues to get this guy and to get Letitia James. But basically what he is saying here is even if one path gets blocked, he says, we have others. We are the FBI, we have other paths. And he's saying that they are actively using these options right now. He said that when he said, quote, executing on all these options. That's what he said. This suggests ongoing investigations, alternative charges, parallel cases, or coordinated actions with other agencies. So they're not finished with this case. He said, we're not done. And this is a warning. This is a warning to James Comey, and this is a warning to Letitia James. Hey, you guys need to expect more moves. And coincidentally, we can expect more out of the FBI. I really hope that Kash Patel kicks this into gear. But according to Kash Patel, new developments are coming soon. He said, stay tuned for right after Thanksgiving. So that means this could happen any day. So this could happen this week. This implies that we will likely see announcements, filings, or maybe enforcement actions very, very soon. And he also, I think it's interesting that he said that there will be multiple responses. So that means more than one action is being prepared. This could mean, just kind of brainstorming here. It could be additional charges, maybe new indictments, maybe separate investigations becoming public, counter filings, administrative referrals, coordinated federal and state efforts. What Kash Patel is doing here is he's telegraphing that more is coming, and it's not just one thing. But I really appreciate Kash Patel coming out and addressing this issue, because I do believe this is a massive issue for the American people. When we see incompetence like what happened with this illegal appointment that brought the indictment against James Comey and Letitia James, I think this causes people, obviously causes people to just lose a massive amount of trust, lose a massive amount of faith in the government or in the DOJ in particular, because, this is something that could have been completely avoided. Pam Bondi, she appointed this person. It was after the 120 days. And, the judges, these judges are liberal. They're not going to give you any sort of leeway whatsoever. So I almost wonder if this was not intentional. Was this person intentionally appointed so that she would be disqualified so that these deep state swamp creatures could get away? That's where my mind goes automatically, because I think all of us have been through the ringer when it comes to the government, when it comes to the media, when it comes to these deep state individuals. They always get away scot-free. And it's like they have some sort of get out of jail free card. Oops, we have this illegally appointed lawyer. Sorry, a judge ruled this was illegal, ruled that was illegal. Oh, we can't do this. We can't do X, Y, and Z. And it's absolutely mind-boggling to people. And people wonder, why does this happen? How does this happen? And people have noticed that this happens to certain individuals that have been extremely connected inside of the government. And this is what we call swamp creatures, the deep state, what have you. And we elected Donald Trump to take care of this. And he appointed Pam Bondi to take care of this as well. She is the DOJ. She's the enforcement arm as far as the law goes. And she made a massive mistake, and there's no way else to put it. And now Kash Patel, I think he knows this. Kash Patel, he kind of has, I would say he has a better than average understanding of the American people. He used to go on all these podcasts and he would talk to people, podcasts that you and I listen to, like Tim Pool and, podcasts like that. And he knows that when this happened, the American people probably felt completely dejected. And he was like, listen, we have other avenues. I'm not going to let Pam Bondi's mistake define what happens to James Comey and Letitia James. I promise that we are going to explore every single avenue, and we're going to get this guy, and we're going to get Letitia James. That's what I heard from it. I still have a tiny bit of faith in Kash Patel, even though he, been been sketchy on the news a couple times. I still have a tiny bit of faith in you, Kash. Don't let me down. Don't let the American people down. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Let me know what you think about all this down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.